Welcome back, everyone, to Madness with Mickey, where we embrace the madness that is life and live loud. I'm your host, Mickey, and in case you're wondering what happened to the intro music, I suddenly decided I no longer liked it, and I'm second-guessing that whole thing. So for now, I've just decided to leave it out until I can either find something better or, just decide to stick with it. I think it's cool, but back on track. Today, we are going to be speaking about irrational fears, which I just realized is actually just a phobia. I thought they were two separate things, but yeah, turns out they're the same thing. Anyway, I have Dani here with me today.
Yay!
Hello. I'd say your full name, but I have a fear of getting people's names wrong.
Okay, yeah,
so good thing, okay.
So, I see what you did there. I'm Danielle Nell. But I prefer going by Dani because if I had $1 for every time someone misspelled my name or mispronounced my name, I would not be a broke student right now. So I'm Dani, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. I look forward to hearing about some of your irrational fears.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's very fun.
Great. So I'm just going to start off by telling everyone and you what an irrational fear is, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah. So apparently an irrational fear is the fear of something that is unlikely to cause harm, right? So that's usually classified as a phobia. But, to be honest, I feel like some of these irrational fears are pretty rational. I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, and I just want to throw in a bit of a disclaimer. We aren't undermining the reality of the anxiety that some of these things cause, because I know for a fact that like when I fly, I'm genuinely terrified. And so this isn't to mock the fears. Please don't get us wrong. We're just having some fun looking at the kinds of fears there are. So Dani, tell us what you are irrationally afraid of.
Well, I think the first thing that pops into my mind is, understandably, a lot of people are afraid of spiders.
Ooh.
So I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and this has stemmed since childhood. But my fear goes even further.
Oh yeah.
So I don't mind the little spiders, but it's those big ones, those creepy ones.
Those big ones.
Oh, I can't stand them.
Gosh, I get weak in the knees, and oh my gosh.
Oh, I once barefoot stepped on a big spider. I think a part of me died that day. But now
I can't imagine. Oh my heart is pounding right now.
I know it was bad. But now my fear has stemmed if I go into a dark room and I reach to switch on the light, there's going to be this big hairy spider waiting for me on the light switch, and I'm touching the spider. So now I grab my phone and just shine the torch on the light switch before I enter into a room. So that's probably my biggest fear, and it gets a bit more irrational. What are the chances of a big hairy spider?
Yeah, but it's still see, that's one of the things where I'm this is pretty rational, Do you have any ridiculously or absurdly weird irrational fears?
So I'm scared of heights, but in a weird sense. I can be in a tall building and look down and be yeah, this is pretty tall, but no, not bothered. But as soon as I don't have a railing or something to hold on to, I climb a tree. It happened when I was younger. I was trying to follow my friends and prove to them that I'm brave. And then I start climbing this tree, and then I realized I've made a big mistake.
Oh no, can't turn back.
So I'm looking down the ground, it's looking pretty far. And that's when I realized I have a slight fear of heights. But I don't think, maybe not completely irrational. Clowns freak me out, but I kind of think they freak everyone out. But when I was 3, I had a clown-themed birthday, so...
Oh, wow.
So maybe I just have a fear of looking at my pictures from that party.
Oh no!
They're pretty creepy.
So my sister says she has it's about not being able to see the person's face. So it's not really the clown that they're afraid of. It's not being able to see the person's face. And I totally get that. To be honest, I get quite anxious walking out now, because everyone's wearing masks. Yeah. And I didn't realize how important it is to be able to see someone's whole face. Yeah. It's so stressed, and I'm just oh, okay.
And I'm trying to be so like nice to the people. Like I just like over exaggerate my eyes and I just
I know.
smile. And I nod at them like, guys, I'm friendly, please.
Yes. Oh gosh. I saw this kid and I was like, you smile it. You be friendly to children, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I like looked at the child and I was like, and the child kind of just like was a bit scared of me. And I'm just like, why? And I'm like, oh, right. They can't see the big smile that's on my face,
Oh,
So
no.
I totally get that. Yeah. No, there's some things out there that I'm very scared of. Like I have this fear that I genuinely will never ever sleep with any part of my body going over the edge of the bed. Like genuinely, like I get like it just my heart just can't handle it for some reason. Like I don't know where it like started or what happened or whatever. I just and I even sing that song. God is bigger than the boogie. It's bigger than yeah. I sing that to myself every time I get a bit too scared. So darkness is a big thing. So darkness is like a big thing that a lot of people are scared of.
No, I don't blame them. Like I think for me, it's not so much like the darkness. But it's like not knowing what's in the dark. It's not being able to see.
I was going to say that. Like, it's apparently also with the fear of heights. So it's apparently like some people aren't scared of the height. They're scared of falling. So it's sort of just like, you're not actually scared of heights. You're just scared of the possibility that you might fall. And it's the same with darkness. Like, I'm not scared of the darkness. I'm just scared of what might be in the darkness. Like a giant hairy spider. But I did some Googling, as you all know from my first episode. I like Google. I like searching things on the web, the World Wide Web.
It's
an amazing place. So. I don't know, like I'm skeptical sometimes to believe everything that I read, and I think that's a wise thing. But at the same time, I find stuff. I'm like, I'm just gonna say this because it's funny. But I just looked up like some like the 35. I found like the 32 funniest phobias and fears. Right. So the first one was like the fear of relatives. Which is kind of understandable. I mean, like some people have crazy families.
Yeah, like Christmas
My family
time.
listening to this, you know that you are them.
No, for real. Like,
although I'm not scared of my family. This was funny. The fear. Some people have a fear of the Pope.
Oh,
it's called papaphobia.
Papaphobia. That's such a fun word.
I know, papaphobia. I think that's so funny. Yeah. The fear of the color yellow is apparently a common thing, which is so strange.
I guess I can't tell them the joke yellow there. I'm sorry, like bad jokes.
No bad jokes. Let's see. Oh, this one seems pretty reasonable. Like the fear of peanut butter like sticking to the roof of one's mouth. Like
it's too chewy sometimes. Like I like peanut butter, but too much peanut butter.
The fear of balloons. I'm not scared of balloons, but I can tell you something. When someone pops a balloon, my heart stops. Like so many times I've had it where kids think they're so funny and they'll pop a balloon and I just lose it.
You know what happened to me this year? I was having a photo shoot with some balloons and I was like lying on the ground feeling really cute with these balloons around me. And the next moment someone drops a bowl of noodles next to the balloon. And the balloons just like pop right next to
That is so random.
Like someone's just eating noodles. But yeah, like baboons.
Baboons.
Balloons popping. I get that. Yeah.
So some of the other things that I'm genuinely very scared of, like I get like serious, like my heart pounds and my knees get weak and I feel nauseous. Like the two biggest things is crabs and fish. Like, oh my word, like crabs, like, oh my gosh. Like when I'm walking on the beach or I'm at the beach and I see a crab, I lose my mind. Like my heart just, and my sisters know this, especially my older sister, and she has chased me around with numerous crabs. Like she'll just grab a crab or find a dead crab and just chase me around. And fish.
Just don't watch The Little Mermaid then. That's
an animated crab, it's fine. No, but another one of the funny ones that I found was the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. Like the fear of being watched by a duck.
Well, I mean, have you seen the ducks we have here?
Those aren't ducks.
Oh, they're geese.
They're geese. Yes, those things are loud. No, but they are like, they're quite crazy. Like, they're quite aggressive as well. But I think ducks are cute. I think they're adorable. Oh, this one's real. This one's so real. The fear of losing mobile phone service. Like connection. Like the Wi-Fi drop. Like the anxiety of like suddenly, like when the power goes out now. We don't have Wi-Fi.
And you don't even have signal.
It's ridiculous.
Like, little pro tip, there's Wi-Fi in the diner.
Yeah, and there's Wi-Fi in the hall, like, but it's not in my room.
Yeah.
When I was promised Wi-Fi in my room, even when there's load shedding. Jody, if you're listening to this, we love and appreciate you. But yeah, so there's like common fears, you know, as always, watch your brooms, hockey sticks, dogs, birds, bears, bats. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's the B movie.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Sorry, I just had to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but it's a classic, so you know.
Yeah. But no, so flying, enclosed spaces, insects, snakes, dogs, storms, needles, rats. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you know this, but if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know this. I love Eric Nam, right? Mm-hmm. And he's terrified of rats, and it's so hilarious, right? But the other day, I was watching an interview with him, and they asked him what weird food he's eaten, and he said rat. So I was just like, oh, Eric, bruh, you solved the problem. Yeah. Just eat whatever you're afraid of.
Nikki, I'm not eating spiders.
Come on, you don't know to eat. No, I'm pretty sure he's still terrified of rats though. But speaking of celebrities, I did look up what some famous people are afraid of. Tyra Banks is apparently afraid of dolphins. Which I understand, you know, the whole fish issue. Like, fish scare me, bro. Like, those big fish. Like, little fish, the pretty fish, they're fine. But those big fish. Like, the one time we were swimming in the ocean. And, oh my gosh, I almost had a heart attack. Because something touched me. Oh, no. And then I looked back, and then it was something big. Like, guys, don't worry, I didn't think it was a shark. I'm not that stupid. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's a big fish.
But they're like slimy.
Exactly. And the one time when I was surfing, there was like this wave that came at me and it literally had like thousands of fish in it. It was that time when all those little silver fish were around, you know. I almost had a heart attack.
I know.
I was like, gotta get out of here. If you know, if you could see me now, you'd see the swimming motions I'm doing. But you're missing out on that. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's see, who else have I got? Nicole Kidman is afraid of butterflies, apparently. Someone was afraid of talking food. You know, like animated talking food.
Oh, shame. Like you're missing out on so many great movies.
Yeah, like VeggieTales, bro.
Exactly.
VeggieTales is like the way, you know. And then there's also a fear of famous people. Like,
imagine a famous person being afraid of famous people.
Oh snap! That's like the epitome of irony. Yeah. Like, it's like that fear of fear of long words is one of the longest words.
Yeah, it's just that.
But in case you're all wondering, I'm not saying the phobia names because we are actually going to have an episode later on, which is a game episode that's called Name That Phobia. And so I don't want to give away phobia names, and then Dani's going to be one of the people joining, and then we're also going to have Eden, and I don't want them to like now know the answers, you know. Hint, hint, might use some of these, just saying. But yeah, so that's going to be lots of fun, and I look forward to that. But yeah, so like fears are strange. So I want whoever's listening to this, if you guys have some crazy fears and phobias, like, please let us know. I'd love to laugh at you. I mean, sorry, not laugh. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I was laughing at Dani, so it's fine. But yeah, so there's some crazy things. But like I said, why are they called irrational fears? Like, being afraid of a needle makes sense. Like, it's gonna poke you. And like a spider, oh my gosh, like, yeah, that's reasonable. And
creepy.
There's so many things that are just like, I'm like, why are you calling them irrational fears? Like, you know, but there are lots of things that people are afraid of that just can't hurt you. Like the darkness.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much.
I just realized I'm scared of the end, Nikki.
Oh no.
How are we going to do this now?
Oh gosh, this podcast is going to go on forever, isn't it? It's never going to end.
Y'all start with us now.
Sorry, Dani, we gotta end it. Just step out the room for a minute.
I'm just kidding.
Oh well, that's so funny. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to everyone who has been listening and who listened to the first episode. By the way, I saw a lot of you on YouTube only listen to the first part of the episode. There is a second part, and I can tell you now, that's the really funny part. That's like when we talk about garden gnomes and conspiracies. Y'all missing out if you don't go to that one. Especially with this one. Anyway, I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much for joining. This is the end. I'm sorry. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, leave a review wherever you are. Do what you do. It's short. It's sweet. It's madness with Nikki.